What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to tonight's live. I'm your host, Carmen, your savvy system sister. And listen, a confidence curator, all of the things when it comes to technology, when it comes to making sure that we calm the chaos in your life and in your business. And we're doing that through alignment and through systems. Listen, today's topic is is a good one. Tonight we're talking about how you in 2026 can stop being a slave. And yes, I said slave because some of us have that hustle slave mentality when it comes to working in and on our business. So, how in 2026 can we let go of that mindset? Can we let go of that mentality so that we can function in a way where our business supports us and supports the life that God has already called us to live in the most beautiful way possible. Boom. So let's get into I'm gonna dive right in. Y'all know I don't waste no time. Let's dive in. I'm actually gonna pull up the iPad screen tonight. Just so we can have some dialogue around exactly what it is that you can do to stop being a slave to your business in 2026. All right, so here is the iPad screen. You can take notes with me if you want to, because I know that some of us are like, we tired. You are tired. And you're like, oh, Carmen, I wish I had more time to work in and on my business, but I feel like I didn't work all day at my job. And now I'm coming home to work on my job. And it's a lot. And you know you need rest. And God has told you to rest, but you're like, I can't rest until that's when it's time to help to create and sustain and to realign your business in a way that will work for you, not against you. So if you're ready, go ahead and drop a I'm ready in the chats. You ready? I'm ready. All right. So the first thing that you can do to stop being a slave in your business in 2026 and really and beyond is I'm gonna change the color because I like color. Is to get clear on what it is that you want. So I'm just gonna put clarity. What is it that you want? Not for your business, because remember, we're creating a business that sustains and supports our life. But what is it that you want for your life? What is it that God has already told you that you are able to have? What is it that God has told you that is available to you? What is it that you want? If there was anything that you could have that like no the cost didn't matter, the amount of time didn't matter, you could snap your fingers and it was there, what would it be? Do you want to work go full time in your business? Do you want the option to travel internationally? Do you want to um, be a speaker on a stage? Do you want to have children? What is it that you want? I'm gonna tell you, number one, I want satellite homes around the country. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because my oldest son is a theater actor, and I already know that he's gonna be in shows around the country, around the world. He's gonna be in shows around the world, and so I don't want to have to get an Airbnb. I want to be like, okay, I'm going to. I'm already at every show, so I just got to keep that energy going. And so when he has a show, I want to make sure that I am there and having to worry about an Airbnb, worry about a hotel, that's all good and well. But if I got a home there, honey, we can just go there and we can go there anytime. And then he also has a place where he can stay if he wants to when we're not there. And then also when we're not living in that space, it becomes an Airbnb. we can Airbnb it out or rent it out or whatever. So then that becomes an additional stream of income. Something else that I want to open a co working space. I want to have an event center. I want to host retreats. I want to make sure that my children have every opportunity available to them so that they can get or have opportunities that I didn't have. Listen, my son, his passport is more stamped than mine, because I want him to have those opportunities. And so once you get crystal clear on what it is that you want, not just for your business, but for your life overall, that's where you can decide that this is what I want. So you're going to start looking for evidence of that. Start looking for those things to happen and for it to happen for you and around you. And even if it's not the full blown vision. So, one of the other things that I desire to do is to provide affordable housing for educators. Well, that in that vision has expanded so many times over the years. It that was a watered down version I just gave you. Like that was the basic. That was the basic of the basic. That's not the look. I can talk about it all day. But because I know that that is something that I want, that it's I can look for opportunities to bring that to fruition. I already have a partner in mind, someone who is a realtor because that's not my ministry. Um, so when God brings me the provision and the finances, then I'm already ready to take those steps to make that thing happen. It is clear as day that part of the vision, what it looks like, and that is my impact work, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So I want you, number one, to get clear on what you want. After you get clear on what you want, I want you to decide what is your purpose. What is your purpose and what impact do you desire to have on this world? So I'm just going to put purpose and impact. Once you are clear on your purpose and you are clear on the impact that you have on the world, then you can stop being a slave to your business. Because at this point, your business is no longer a business, it's a ministry. And God's going to provide you with the abundance. He's going to provide you with the increase because you are now in a place where you are in service to other people. But you have those boundaries in place so that you aren't running from job to job, so that it is sustainable. Because even that purpose driven impact work, even though we're doing it to serve someone else, it is going to serve this life that you have decided that you want. So when it comes to your purpose, and I'm going to break this down even further this week during the realignment experience. So if you have not registered, highly recommend that you do. Okay. But I'm going to break it down more this week. But when it comes to your purpose, there are four reasons or four purposes. Four purposes? Four purposes. When it comes to your purpose is the thing that you were born to do. Okay? When you, even as a small, young child, you were able to operate in your purpose. No matter what career you find yourself in, chances are you are operating in your purpose in some way, shape, or form. So, my purpose is to empower. Empowerment is who I am. So, that showed up for me, that has shown up for me for a long time, as long as I can remember. But when I think about my career in education, I have been a teacher now for 16, almost 17 years. And as a instructional assistant, because I started as an no, excuse me, before that, as a long-term sub, which is where I started, I was able to empower students. As a instructional assistant, same deal. And I got to empower the classroom teacher that I was working under. I was only an instructional assistant for like 2 months. But that empowerment piece was there. Then as a classroom teacher, I was able to empower my families and empower students. As now an instructional coach, that empowerment piece is still there. I am empowering my teachers, I am empowering students, I am empowering my administration. And then, of course, in my business, empowerment is still there. That is my purpose. That is what God created me to do. That is what I was born to do. Um, when I think about my children, my oldest was born to create because he is a creative. And creativity is his ministry. It is the way that he uses his voice to advocate for others. It is his way that he uses his voice to uplift others. And he's been doing that as long as I can remember. He was 5 when he first came to me and said, "Mommy, I want to be an actor." And so I've been honing that in him since then. My youngest, he is only 7, but I can see his purpose in him too. And his is to advocate. He loves to just help people. He's a helper. Um, I remember before he could even like com- uh, put together full sentences, he was coming up with creative solutions to help people who had been involved in natural disasters. Now, like they were just in there fighting not too long ago because the little one wanted to help his brother. He is a helper. That advocacy is his purpose. And at 7, it is so loud and in my face, I can see it. Even at 2, before he was even talking, it was still there. And then coming up with creative solutions, like he's been doing that since before he could walk. So definitely before he could talk. I will never forget. He wanted to clean something off the floor and he had this little toy that was like a cloth and he couldn't crawl yet. So I put him down on the floor so I can go clean it up. But by the time I went to go clean it up, he had rolled to this toy and rolled back and wiped it up at at 7 months. So your purpose has been in you, the impact that you can have on the world and that you were created to have on the world has been in you since before you were born. Another way that you can think about purpose is I have a 3P formula for understanding your purpose, and in my best teacher handwriting, it is a Venn diagram, and your purpose is that intersection of all 3 of those Venn diagram or those circles. So you are looking at your pain, your past, and your um present. Your pain, your past, and your present. When we talk about the past, there is some part of your story, there is something that you have done that has called and equipped you to serve a certain audience of people. When we talk about pain, there's something in your life, something that you have experienced, again, some type of pain that has shaken you that is what makes you want to be able to support people in a certain way. And then your present are the things that are presently living within you that allow you to tap into your past, tap into your pain so that you can serve other people. All right. So, again, we're talking about how to stop being a slave to your business. You got to have clarity on not just what you want for your life, but the purpose and the impact that you desire to make on this world. When you get to the pearly gates, um what are the angels going to say about you? They're going to say Carmen was an empowerer, river, and she made an impact in this way. The third thing that you can do to make sure that you are no longer being a slave to your business is letting go what's no longer working. And so when you think about it, there is something that you've been holding on to, whether it's a job, a person, a mindset, a mentality. There's something that you've been holding on to that's no longer serving you in the season that you're in. And God is telling you to let it go because you can't, it's not working for you right now. And it's not going to work for you when you get to the place that He is trying to send you. So I need you right now to let it go. What are the mindsets that are holding you back? For me, for a long time, visibility was hard and it was scary because being visible to me felt unsafe. And it felt unsafe because, as an educator, this goes back to my past and my pain. I had been taught that being visible, being authentic, it girl, don't do that. That's what they had taught me. Even if they didn't mean to teach me that, I'm sure that my administrators weren't like, "Oh yeah, we gonna instill this lesson upon her, and this what we're gonna do." No, they didn't say that, but unknowingly they taught me that that inauthenticity was how I should show up, and that being me, who God created me to be, wasn't that won't it that won't it. And so that's a mindset that I personally have to let go of. Also, I want you to think about the identities that you have taken on that you didn't give yourself. What are the identities that other people have placed upon you that's not how you see yourself? You got to let those go. And then the things that you say you want, you've got to replace the things that you no longer want with that. So if your new identity, if you're in your new identity, if one of your habits is waking up at 5 a.m., oh, I'm not gonna say I don't recommend it. You could do it because I get up at early. I get up early. But in your new identity, if that person wakes up and that's one of their habits to wake up early, then start doing that and replacing the habit of hitting the snooze button with waking up early or thinking about how it is that you need to start your day and letting go of some of the things in your morning that don't serve you. Here's an example. If rushing into work late or like you supposed to be there at 7:35 and you are pulling in the parking lot at 7:32, so that now you gotta run into the building, let that go. Let that go. Give yourself enough time in the mornings when you get to work so that you can unwind, so that you can relax. Maybe close your door, or if you're at a cubicle, I don't know because I never worked in a cubicle, but put your headphones in, and like let people know. Like I got 10 minutes and I'm supposed to clock in for my shift. So I'm gonna take these 10 minutes to relax and unwind so that I don't start my day on 10 and I start it with calm and with peace. And then take that same mentality, that same identity, those same shifts into your business. And if it's no longer working in your business, let it go. If there's a funnel that you have created and it has become overcomplicated, let it go. If you got 7 offers and not selling any of them, let it go. If you have so much technology because you got shiny object syndrome and you keep pulling up the shiny object, you keep, purchasing things when you don't need to purchase them, girl, let that go too. Let it all go. Whatever is not working for you, it is time to let it go. So once you've decided that you are going to not be a slave to your business in 2026 and you will let all the things go, then it is time to build the systems. Oh, hey, that's my brother on here joining us live. Hey, David, welcome to tonight's live. So once you have decided that you're going to let go of all the things that are no longer serving you, then it's time to build the systems that sustain you. So again, those mindsets, the habits, the things that you need that we are replacing with the things that we no longer need. So we are building the systems that sustain us. So what do I mean by systems that sustain? So in my experience, a lot of us get confused when we hear the word system. And that's why you don't have them, because you hear the word system and you automatically think technology. And so the thought of technology scares you. Like, I don't know why the thought of technology scares so many people, but it does. And so when I say systems, you automatically think of the word technology. As a matter of fact, I asked somebody, what systems do you have? And they started naming off all these apps. The app is not the system. The app supports the system. The technology that you use supports your system. Your systems are your repeatable processes. So when we talk about that, making sure that your mornings are good, then your system is creating the process that supports that morning. When we talk about your funnel, when it comes to your business, then your system is the thing that makes your funnel the process that you're taking people through in that funnel. So we want to create the systems that are going to support this life up here. So if you know in your life that you don't have 45 million hours in a week to do one-on-one coaching, girl, don't do one-on-one coaching. If you know that you also are working full time and you want to be hands on but hands off, start a membership. Start a membership that you can spend an hour a week making sure you're uploading stuff to, and then 10 minutes a day that you're engaging with your folks. And you have a source of repeatable income. That's what I mean when I say something that's going to sustain you and something that's going to support the life that you are creating. Also, if you know that you don't even like coaching people, then don't do it. Stop doing it because somebody told you that you were supposed. I told y'all this before. Somebody told me I needed to do career coaching. And actually it was a coach that told me I needed that. Carmen, did you think about career coaching? Absolutely not. That is not what I wanted to do with my business or with my life. And that's not the gift that God gave me. So that's not the thing that I'm going to do. All right. And then finally, once you create the systems that sustain you, those repeatable processes, because a system is just a repeatable process. Once you have created those repeatable processes, then it's time to maintain. Maintenance. Once you find the systems, those repeatable processes that work for you, then you want to make sure that you do them over and over and over again and maintain them, adjust as needed. Um, a couple of things that you can do for maintenance. Remember your why. Why did you even start this? Like what was the point of the systems in the first place? Why did you start your business? Why did you decide that this was a life that you wanted? So remembering your why. Also tapping into self-care. You so busy being a slave to your business that you're not taking care of you on the outside, you on the inside. And that's one of the reasons why or how we burn ourselves out. And again, we feel like we are a slave to our business, that we're running from job to job because we have to learn how to take care of ourselves. Also, setting clear and consistent boundaries with you, yourself, your time, your people, at work, at home, all the places is another way to make sure that you are maintaining your peace, number one. And number two, maintaining the systems that you have created. All right, y'all. I know that was a lot for this beautiful Sunday, but I'm going to come back here for just a minute. I want to remind you that again, it is quarter two, and tomorrow we are starting our 5-day realignment experience where we're going to reset, refocus, and we are going to follow through so we can build systems that serve you and not serve, so that you are not serving the business, but the business is serving you. If you are ready to get back into realignment, you want to make sure that you join me live tomorrow, April 20th through the 24th. We'll be right here on YouTube. But listen, YouTube is not just where we're going to be. We are going to be in a couple of different places. Hold on, let me find the link for you so that you can get in where you fit in and join our community as well, because we have a super dope community where we are gathering together to hold each other accountable and to give feedback and make sure that we are all on the right track as we are resetting, realigning, and refocusing for 2026. Because listen, we are not going to be a slave to our business in 2026. We are going to build systems in a business that serves us so that we can live the life that we have been created to live. That's all I got for y'all tonight. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll stick around for a few more minutes. If not, I will see you. I'll see you tomorrow. Actually, I'll see you every day this week for our realignment experience, and then, of course, every Sunday right here on YouTube, where I'm just gonna let the Lord use me and do the work that He has called me to do. All right, y'all. I love you, and I will see you soon.